interesting. Now, Tupperware started as a small container company here in the United States back in 1946. Well, it's now expanded into a multi-billion-dollar brand worldwide, spanning 100 companies. The CEO is now taking his experience of running this global enterprise and using it to help lead a group of executives enhance our nation's security here at home and abroad. Rick Goings is chairman and chief executive of Tupperware, and we're pleased to welcome him today.
Nice to be here.
Let me ask you about Tupperware, because you've really been so successful. Shares up 50% over the last year, 31% year to date at keeping Tupperware modern, keeping it relevant, and maintaining demand. What's been your business strategy to do that?
Well, I think first strategy, it was getting behind this incredible resource that's been underutilized in the world called women. And we now have a sales force of more than 2.5 million women. And so our whole attitude has been enlighten, educate, and empower women. So we put a business model together with the right product line, the right method of selling, and it's good news is it's not only working in these emerging markets, but it's working. We were up strong double-digit in France last year.
All right, so the global business is strong. How are you maintaining relevance and business demand here in the United States, where we've had some serious economic headwinds?
We were up double-digit in the first quarter here, so the U.S. and Canada have been really growing.
Have oil prices impacted you at all? As a component to the plastic?
Yes, but we never, one of the things we've always believed, and if you're running a business unit, you're really supposed to be responsible for finding ways to mitigate all the disruption, the things, bad things that can happen. So therefore, the reason it doesn't hurt us much is, firstly, we're premium products. Go down to Tiffany's, and just because gold's high, Tiffany is still doing well. But if you're low-cost supplier selling at a big box retailer, you're in trouble. So we operate generally close to 70% gross margins.
Wow.
We own the channel, and therefore every 1.7 seconds there's a Tupperware party, so we can demonstrate features and benefits.
Will you, though, have to raise prices in the near future?
Well, yeah, but small. But, you know, it's had an impact, but it can't turn a good year into a bad year, any commodity like that.
Business executives for national security, and you mentioned your top commodity or your top priority is women and taking advantage of us, right? Or in a good way, let me be clear here. So segue that for me. So what is the connection? Tell me about your role and how you're effective in protecting the national security, especially of some countries where women don't enjoy the advantages that we do here in the United States.
Well, it starts off with we're in more than 100 countries, so we have a great sensitivity to different cultures, different religions, and so we have to be able to adopt. So that's obviously added a sensitivity to me. I got involved almost a decade ago in this organization, Business Executives for National Security, and the whole bottom line of it, it's security is everybody's business. And most of our resources, ever since 9/11, have been on the military side of security. There's an underlying peace side of it. You know, an interesting concept, in the last 60 years, there's been no European wars other than the Balkans activity. But in the 50 years before that, there were 100 million Europeans killed. What's kept Europe peaceful? There's an economic side of it. So we're really trying to come up at Ben's with some of the solutions to bring peace to the world. Sometimes it's helping the military. I was in Iraq in January, and the focus there was how do we leverage the power of women in Iraq?
That's fascinating. We appreciate your time in bringing us the story. Tupperware today, Rick Goings, the CEO. Thanks again.
Good to be here.
Entitlements pushing us deeper and deeper into debt, so much so that Congress needs to raise its borrowing limits. So next week, the House will vote on what they're calling a clean increase, meaning no conditions attached to raising the debt ceiling, no spending cuts either. The judge, well, he doesn't like this idea at all. He speaks his mind, you know that. So stick with us as he joins us next on Fox Business. This is great.
I'm a small business owner. I work hard to save for my future. Lots of my customers are talking about owning gold. Makes me wonder, could gold be right for me?
Owning gold is a personal decision. If you're concerned about the economy or inflation eroding the dollar, then you should learn more about gold.
Gold prices keep rising.